Welcome to Mysteries to Die For, and this toe tag. I am TG Wolff, and I'm here with Jack, my piano player and producer. This is normally a podcast where we combine storytelling with original music to put you at the heart of a mystery. Today is a bonus episode that we call a toe tag. It's the first chapter from a fresh release in the mystery, crime, or thriller genre. And today's featured release is The Whisper Legacy by TJ O'Connor. All right, we are going to jump right in, and we are actually doing chapter 1. I know you're all impressed. Lowe Curran. Getting old is not for the meek, especially when in your youth you were an adventurer and a risk-taker, a man of mystery and worldliness. You know, stuff that made your heart rumba and your pulse sizzle. Having to perform menial, boring deeds in your later years is tough, especially when you sit around with a good bourbon and reminisce about the old days. You tend to drink too much and pine for those glory days and lost adventure, so much that it eats at you. Not that I've done that, mind you, just saying, it happens to other people. For instance, if anyone had told me 20 years ago that one day I'd be standing outside an old 2-story brick rambler in Leesburg, Virginia at 10 in the evening, wearing old raggedy pajamas, an ill-fitting robe, and carrying a dog leash, absent the dog, I would have been offended. Such a scenario might have suggested that I'd lost my faculties too early in life. Perhaps I'd gone crazy or become homeless. Of course, I've never seen a homeless person wearing pajamas and a robe at 10 in the evening, crazy or not. Still, you get my concern. I'm Ker-in. That's Ker-in, not Curran. It's Irish, not that that matters, but the pronunciation is important. Don't get the wrong idea about me. I don't normally dress up in old PJs and walk neighborhoods with a dog leash. It just seemed like the thing to do tonight. I'm also not that old either. At present, I'm pushing my early mid-50s and have a full head of dark reddish hair and almost always am in need of a shave. It's not that I'm trying to be suave and cool. I'm sort of lazy about shaving. I've been told I look like a dashing Sean Bean. No, not Mr. Bean, Sean Bean. Anyway, that's me, and I'll explain more later. For now, my PJs were falling down and the ratty robe I had on wasn't fitting all too well either. My feet were sore from my ambling down the block of crumbling sidewalk in the middle of this beautiful August night. Of course, August in Virginia was hot, humid, and, hot. My ensemble was cooler than my jeans and sneakers, but it did not include slippers. Barefoot was not accidental. It's for effect. See, I was going for that crazy old dude persona. Most concerning to me was my partner, or lack thereof. Actually, he was my longtime friend and co-conspirator in many such episodes of my life, and he is missing. Stevie Keene should have been here an hour ago and running counter-surveillance. He should have been watching my back, ensuring I wasn't walking into a gunfight or a pair of handcuffs. He wasn't. Stevie hadn't responded to my cell calls. He also wasn't in the van parked across the street from our target like he should be. That was bad. Real bad. I was going in blind. "Stevie, where in the flying monkeys are you?" I whispered to his voicemail again. "You're late. I can't wait any longer. If you get here while I'm inside, stay put and watch my escape route. And brother, you better have a good story, like being abducted by aliens." I peeked at the old Rambler's front windows and dangled the dog leash. I called out as loud as I could, "Rufus! Come on, boy! I've got cookies!" No, I had no dog named Rufus. I also had no cookies. Try to keep up. The house windows were blacked out, odd even for this part of town. I knew someone was inside. First, a thin sliver of light escaped through a corner of the window. Second, the electric meter around the side was whirling away like a NASA satellite station. Third, and perhaps most important, I'd seen the short, pudgy, receding hairline kid with his embarrassing attempt at a beard slip inside an hour or so ago. He looked like he'd glued straight hair here and there on his cheeks. His eyes were inset, or maybe his fat cheeks hid them. Billy Piper reminded me of that dumpy loser who tried to smuggle dinosaur eggs off the island in Jurassic Park. He'd gotten eaten in the first 30 minutes of the movie. Served him right. Poor defenseless dinosaurs. "Rufus, I've got cookies." I banged loudly on the door and rattled the doorknob. "Don't hide at me, Rufus. Don't be a bad dog." If Piper was trying to be stealthy, he failed. I heard him approach the door inside before he peeled back the window covering and glared out. "What are you doing, old dude? Get lost." As I already said, I'm not that old, but given I'd put on a shaggy gray wig and plastered fake beard crap on my face, I'd give it to him. A dog barked, then yelped as a face pushed closer into the window. "Shut up, mutt! What good are you? This old fart is almost in the house and you just noticed?" Time to play the role. "You got my Rufus? Give me my dog!" I banged on the door again. "Now, before I call the cops, dog napper!" "It's my dog, old dude," Piper yelled. "Get off my property or I'll kick your old ugly butt." I held up the leash and took a step back, turned in a slow circle to appear dazed. Then I began to cry. It took a full minute before Piper opened the door and stepped cautiously outside. "What the hell is wrong with you, old dude? My dog isn't Rufus." I turned to him, reached up to wipe my tearless eyes, and let my bright red identification bracelet show below my pajama sleeve. "Where am I? Who's Rufus?" I turned in a circle again and let out a few more whimpers. "Who are you and what are you doing in my house?" At first, Piper turned red-faced with anger. Then, when he saw my medical bracelet, he reached out and grabbed it. "Oh, you're one of those Alzheimer people. Get the hell out of here. Understand? Go home. Shoo." Home, indeed. "This is my home. What are you doing here?" Beside Piper, a brawny black lab trotted into the doorway and barked. Not a threatening bark, more like an obligatory woof. After 2 such woofs, he trotted up to me and sat wagging. "Useless dog. What are you doing inside?" He grabbed the dog by the collar and dragged him past me. He shook him several times, cursing. After berating him again with another smack to his hindquarters, he found a short chain affixed to a big walnut tree in the front yard and clipped it onto his collar. "Flippin' mutt, you're supposed to warn me before they get to the door." "Don't hurt my Rufus," I yelled. The chain was twisted and wrapped around the tree. The lab had only about 2 feet of room to move. There was no water bowl and no signs of one anywhere. The wear marks on the grass suggested the dog spent too much time chained to that tree. What an asshole. "What are you doing to my Rufus?" I growled. "Where's his food and water?" "Screw the dog. Maybe he'll bark when he's supposed to." Piper shoved me sideways and re-entered the house. "Get the hell out of here. I'll call the cops." "Call? I didn't call you." Jesus, I don't have time for this. He squared off on me in the doorway. "Get lost, old dude." "What about my Rufus?" I shoved Piper back a step. That surprised him. I guess old men with Alzheimer's should be weak and defenseless. "Get out of my house." Piper reared back to strike me and held his fist in a threat. "I'm going to put you straight." His smartwatch buzzed wildly and flashed like Dick Tracy was calling. If you don't get the shout out to Dick, forget it. You're way too young to understand. "Go, damn it." "Not until I get my Rufus." His watch signaled him again. Ah, shit. No. Piper shoved me sideways and I feigned to fall just inside the doorway. He kicked at me and barely connected as I parried with my arm. "Get out of here, old dude. Wander or dawdle your way back to where you came from. I've got my own problems." He shoved me out the door, swung the door to shut it, and ran down the hallway. I, not being a confused old geezer, lodged my foot in the door before it closed. With no more than a sore big toe when it hit, I kept the door ajar. I followed his footfalls back to the house. I might be committing a few felonies soon, so I slipped on leather driving gloves to eliminate the chance of any fingerprints. After all, my felony count had just started and the night was young. I know cool TV stuff like that. At the end of the hall, I descended the staircase into the dark basement. There was a small room that lay ahead, lighted by a single overhead light that bathed the room in a hazy illumination. There were only a few old boxes stacked around and a bicycle hanging on a wall rack. Ahead was a heavy steel door, still ajar. A carnival of flickering lights escaped through the opening. Beyond, I heard Piper cursing and babbling in a panicked voice. I eased inside and found the larger section of the basement. The space was lined with soundproof tiles and heavy industrial carpeting. There was a refrigerator and a small stove on one side of the room, and cabinets of computers and electronics on the other. Between them was a command console and 2 gamers' chairs facing the wall of computer monitors and a large video screen. The walls not blocked by computer gadgets were covered with movie and book posters of every major spy thriller I'd ever heard of. One was a poster of a pale-faced Alec Guinness wearing oversized dark-frame glasses, an aged, probably original collector's poster of John le Carre's Smiley's People. Holy crap, Billy Piper was a wannabe spy. Shit, they caught me. Piper stood in front of the shelf of electronics and spun around when I stepped inside. What the hell? Old dude? We had to talk about the old dude thing. I was getting there, but really, how rude. I told you what would happen if you didn't leave. Piper balled his fist and came toward me. It's gonna cost you. You should have left to find Rufus. Who the hell is Rufus? I asked. I don't know if it was my sudden calm, steady voice or the silenced .22 pistol in my hand, aimed at him, that startled him the most. Either way, I had his attention. What the? Who are you, old dude? He stared at the pistol. You don't have Alzheimer's? Nope. Who then? He took a step back as his face tightened and filled with so much anger his cheeks were ablaze. Ah, shit, you're one of them. Them? I waved my pistol back and forth to keep his attention. Explain. Screw you! He spun around as his computers began to wail some kind of alarm. Come on, man, I've got bigger problems than anything you can bring. If you don't get out of here, those problems are going to be yours, too. Go find Rufus or whatever. Just get out. I aimed the pistol at his head. I think not, Billy. He spun back around to me. You know me? Did they send you? Oh, I know you. Boy, was he slow. I'm here about money and information. I have no idea who they are, although they might be like my clients. You hacked them, and now they want their files and their money returned. Right, Chip Magnet? Oh, man, you are them. His face blanched, and the tough guy drained away. Dude, I got money. I can pay. I pay you, and you say I wasn't home. Deal? Desperation replaced his bravado he taunted me with moments ago. Chip Magnet, are you for real? What a totally bullshit handle, Piper. He shrugged. It means, I know what it means, idiot. Look, Billy, you hacked the wrong people. My people. I'm here to fix things. And in the future, if you have one, you might take care who you hack. Some folks out there don't go to the police. They don't hire lawyers or call the credit bureau. Huh? His eyes locked on my pistol as it raised to eye level. What? They send me. All right, that was the first chapter of The Whisper Legacy by TJ O'Connor. So here's the review. So, as you probably, well, I don't know if you picked up on it from that one or not, but The Whisper Legacy is a political thriller. You probably got the thriller part, but it's a political thriller. Private Detective Lowe Curran is doing a data recovery job for his best client when he inadvertently gets a little extra. And that extra is the proverbial Pandora's box. With national security on the line, Curran's job is to protect the data and the hacker who stole it. Yes, you just met him. And yeah, good luck with that. Bottom line, The Whisper Legacy is for you if you like private detectives up to their eyeballs in intrigue and trickery. I have to say that I thought pacing was the star of this novel. The Whisper Legacy pulled me in and kept me turning the pages until there were no more left. I think I read the Whisper Legacy, I wonder how many times I'm going to say that wrong, in one sitting, which happily made for a sleep-deprived night. O'Connor expertly revealed a complex plot the same way you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. It doesn't give you so much that you choke, but it doesn't hold back either, letting you starve. In my opinion, The Whisper Legacy is a genre-crossing political thriller and a private eye mystery, with enough action thriller to keep you guessing. It's not unusual for me to struggle with the subterfuge of politics, but O'Connor revealed the dirty deeds in a manner where everyone's actions were backed by their motivations. I said I a lot of times will really have trouble keeping not just the players straight, but like who they represent, and something about the way TJ did this, it really worked for me. And yes, I love a good PI. Ker-in is a little bit more tech savvy than most are, but he has that same gritty drive of the classic PIs. He's loyal, he's a reliable guy, he has his own moral code that drives him to do what needs to be done. Standing at the end and looking back to the beginning, I only had one question, which is really good for me. And funny enough, it was one that Ker-in asked, but he never found the answer to either. So I'm going to take it that that question was never meant to be answered. The entertainment factor on The Whisper Legacy is high for both thriller lovers and PI fans. Ker-in, his supporting cast, and the bad guys keep batting the ball back and forth even as they're trying to pick it up. It's always moving forward, and it's always just out of reach. So The Whisper Legacy was released from Level Best Books and is promoted by Partners in Crime Tours. It is available on Amazon and other book retailers. So if you don't know TJ O'Connor, well, you do now, but let me tell you a little bit more about him. He is an award-winning author of mysteries and thrillers. He is an international security consultant specializing in anti-terrorism, investigations, and threat analysis, life experiences that drive his novels. As a government agent and years as a consultant, he has lived and worked throughout many countries in the European Union and the Americas. In his spare time, he is a Harley-Davidson pilot, a man about dogs, and now cats, a lover of adventure, cooking, and good spirits, both kinds. Wondering what to read when you finish The Whisper Legacy? Well, Partners in Crime Tours is your ultimate destination for all things mystery, crime, thriller, and cozy. Since 2011, they've been working to fill bookshelves with gripping and heart-pounding reads. Discover new mystery series and connect with other fans with Partner in Crime. Look up Partners in Crime Tours on the web or your favorite social media. And authors, whether you're looking to promote your latest thriller, discover a new mystery series, or connect with fans of a genre, PICT has you covered. Check out their promotion options that come with the personal attention of a dedicated coordinator. And join us next week for Season 8, Anything But Murder. This week, it is KM Rockwood with Graciella's Gifts, where organized theft is our murderless crime. All right, Jack, take us out.